If you want to quit smoking, drinking, porn, and anything else that makes you feel that shame and guilt, and just like you're not proud of yourself, you're not proud of the man when you walk into the room, you're not proud of the man when you look at yourself in the mirror, it's because you're sabotaging yourself with these habits that you know you want to quit. And it's hard to simply quit the habit, but it's so much easier when you understand that the root is you and your emotional state.
Boredom is your worst enemy. As a man, boredom is your real enemy. Boredom is the real problem. If you haven't been able to quit drinking, quit smoking, quit overeating, quit your porn addiction, whatever the habits are that you're hanging on to that you know you need to let go of to be the man that you want to be, that you know you need to let go of to reach your next level. The reason why they're even there in the first place is because you're bored. Boredom is the biggest thing ruining your life right now. And this is why. Because when you're bored, you start craving things, you start desiring things, you start wanting things to shift that state that you're in, to fill that void. What void exactly? The void that's left behind when you're not living a life of purpose, when you're not on your purpose, right? So what happens is you get bored, mind starts to wander into desires, okay? Now the thing about being in a state of desire is it's uncomfortable. We don't want to be there. We don't want to be craving something. We don't want to be desiring something and then not have it. So what do? When we're in that low emotional state, when we're in that low frequency state, we do things to alleviate that state, and they do, temporarily, right? When you first start drinking, trust me, right, that first drink, you start to feel pretty good, right? I've never really been into smoking. I've never even smoked a cigarette before, but when you first, you tell me, right? When you first, the first few minutes after those first few inhales, you start to feel pretty good. Temporarily, right? You might feel good for a moment when you're watching those women on the screen until you don't. And that's the problem with these low frequency states. That's the problem with boredom. You go to these things that you think will make you feel better, and they do temporarily, and then you feel worse, and then you stay in that cycle. You tell yourself, I'm just gonna only do it one more time, but it's never just one more time, is it? See, the thing is, bro, you're not really craving those things. You don't really want those things if you're honest with yourself. You're just bored. You're just emotionally numb. And this is why emotional mastery is the most important skill for you to learn as a man. The ability to control your emotions, the ability to be with your emotions and understand how to shift your state, how to shift your frequency at will. And if that's something that you want, something that interests you, so that you don't keep falling into these cycles, then watch this video till the end, because I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. Okay? But that's the thing. You have to just first understand that you're not actually craving anything, but you're just numb. You're just numb. So you're looking for something that'll break the monotony. You're looking for something that will give a little bit of excitement, right? So that you don't feel that boredom anymore. But the thing is, bro, the thing about pleasure, the thing about instant gratification is they're lies, bro. They are lies. Instant gratification is a lie. Right, because there is no true gratification in that. There's only problems. There's only problems. You're just going to create problems when you get into that bored state, when you give into those cravings that you have when you're in that low emotional state. Nothing good is gonna come from it. And whatever you're thinking that you're gonna jump into for that quick moment of pleasure, that quick fix, just know that it has a cost. Just know that you're robbing your future self. In a major way, you're violating your future self. In a major way. And why do we do this, bro? Like, why do we go into the habits or into the things that robbed us of, who we really wanted to be in the first place? Why do we do that? Why do we jump to drinking when we know that last time we got too drunk, we created problems, right? Why do we smoke? Why do we do these vices, right? When we know that it just results in us not liking ourselves even more, makes us feel worse about ourselves. Why do we do that, right? Why do we turn to those things that we lost our happiness in at one point, thinking that something better is gonna happen the next time, right? Because we buy into the lie of instant gratification. We buy into it. And we don't know how to master our emotions and get out of that state of boredom. Whatever your vice of choice is, you have to understand that it's not just simply a bad habit. It's not simply, oh, I just drink a little too much. It's not just simply, oh, I can't stop fapping all the time. It's cover up whatever that real issue is, and that real issue is just that sense of feeling aimless ultimately, that sense of not having your purpose dialed in. So there's loneliness, right? There's frustration, there's a lack of connection, there's depression, right? There's all of these things that come with not being on your purpose. And so what these vices are is they just simply aim to fill that void, right? Like, really take a second to think about this. Think about how you feel the moment before you dive into that thing that you said you wanted to stop. Think about how you feel right before then. And really ask yourself what's actually missing. Like, let's be honest, bro. I know I'm not the first one to bring this to your attention. Your conscience has been trying to bring this to your attention. And because you haven't been listening, you were served this video to help bring you into alignment with your purpose. But first, before you can even do that, you have to eliminate these other habits. And the way that you eliminate these other habits is understand what's at the root. And what's at the root is boredom. And all of the emotions underneath that you start to feel when you're not on purpose. Underneath that boredom, there's that loneliness. There's that frustration. This general dissatisfaction with life, right? This is what causes us to not be able to stop those habits that we want to stop. The real reason we can't stop these habits that we've been trying to quit, not because it's hard to stop the habit itself. It's because we haven't dealt with the issue at the root. We haven't dealt with the issue right at the source. And it's our emotional state. It's the frequency that we operate in. That's the root. That's the issue at the source. So stopping the habit itself is not the solution. That's not going to solve everything. And that's why it's been difficult for you to quit. That's why. So stopping that isn't the solution. So now that we understand that it's the low frequency state, that those difficult emotions that we don't want to feel, that general dissatisfaction with life, now that we understand that that's at the core, then how do we address that, right? Well, we have to start living on our purpose. We have to start being productive towards our purpose. We have to understand that we can't let ourselves get bored. We can't let ourselves get bored, because we know if we're bored for too long, those cravings, those desires are going to start to sneak in, right? And so level one is just being productive on your purpose. Simply put, it's working on becoming the best version of yourself, moment by moment, day by day, week by week.
And I know some of you are doing this already. Some of you are probably killing it in some areas already. And you might think, because I am, right? I deserve that temporary escape. I deserve that temporary pleasure. I deserve that break. Okay. Maybe you feel that way, but is that real? Is that true? Or do you deserve to be genuinely fulfilled? Do you deserve to be genuinely proud of yourself? Do you deserve to, look back over your life and be proud that you weren't a little boy always chasing that instant gratification and those short-term pleasures, who couldn't master their emotions in the moment, so they had to escape, right? But you deserve to be on your purpose and live that life of purpose. That's what you really deserve. That's what you really deserve. You deserve to quit drinking. You deserve to quit smoking. You deserve to quit all the habits that are keeping you down and not being at the level you could be, if you're honest. So breaking out of this cycle comes down to shifting your emotional state. Breaking out of this cycle ultimately means, hey, I'm starting to pick up way more habits that bring me a sense of fulfillment. Up, let's go. Good girl. Right? I'm replacing these low frequency states with habits that elevate my emotional state, that elevate my frequency. So what are those things, right? It's working out. It's reading good books. It's doing what honestly brings us happiness and brings us fulfillment, right? It's anything that results in us being a better version of ourselves. Think about that. Anytime you're participating in a habit or a hobby or a process that makes you a better person, doesn't that feel good? Doesn't that feel better than anything else? Right? So you have to master your emotional state and not let yourself be in a state of desire, a state of craving, a state of boredom. And you have to stay productive. And this takes intentional effort, right? This takes intentional effort. But I'm here to tell you, like, if you've tried anything else to break these habits and it hasn't worked, it's because you don't understand energy, bro. You don't understand mastering your emotional state. And so this is where it begins. It begins with recognizing at the root, hey, I'm bored right now. I need to change this. Hey, I'm craving something right now. I need to change this. I need to shift this into something else. Oh, I'm getting bored again. Oh, I'm getting bored again. Oh, what that really means is I'm not on my purpose again, right? I'm not on my purpose again. I'm slipping up. I'm not making progress again. I'm not becoming a better version of myself again. And that's the shift, bro. That is the answer. I'll make some more videos about this. I don't want to overtalk this though. If you want to quit smoking, drinking, porn, and anything else that makes you feel that shame and guilt, and just like you're not proud of yourself, you're not proud of the man when you walk into the room, you're not proud of the man when you look at yourself in the mirror, it's because you're sabotaging yourself with these habits that you know you want to quit. And it's hard to simply quit the habit, but it's so much easier when you understand that the root is you and your emotional state. And that's something that you can shift at any moment in time when you recognize all I have to do in this moment is rush to something that builds me, not something that destroys me, not something that brings me down, but something that builds me, something that elevates me, something that makes me feel better about me and who I am in the moment. And that ultimately is what living a life of purpose means, bro. It means choosing purpose over pleasure in the short term. It means choosing what makes us better versus what makes us feel less than. And this is the mastery. This is the process. This is the game. And this is what becoming better men is all about. That's why I made this channel. Thank you for watching another video. My name is Sid Scott, and I'll see you in the next one.